Fourth, you're like a dad in a 1950s waiting room expecting the delivery of your first child.
Yeah, so I now know what my family went through when I was playing, because I didn't care when I was on the stage. I just took everything on the chin. But no, that's out of the way now, and I'm really chuffed, proud as punch. I might even buy you a beer tonight now.
Well. We have much to thank Ryan Harrington for. John Michael and Stephen Bunting on stage right now, though. Bunting, they look like new specs to me. A sort of thicker rimmed thing going on, like he's a character in a 1960s spy film. Good look. John Michael, the man with the wobbly darts.
On a fact-finding mission to Greece wouldn't go.
Well, look, I'm willing.
If the
willing to go there.
The boss or our CEO Matt Porter's watching, perhaps we ought to have a tournament out there. It would be nice, especially when it's not too hot. But yeah, we're going back to Stephen Bunting. I mean, he come over from the BDO as the world champion and played in the Premier League, and he really played well that first year, but he's just gone off the boil in that second year.
100.
And now,
Stephen, you require 100.
The start of a new year. Perhaps we can see some special things back from the bullet.
This would be special. It'd be very special. Surely he's not going for it. He did, and he got it! 167! What a checkout from Stephen Bunting. What a way to start the tournament for him. Well, if he just laid that up, hitting single 18 or a single 10, I'd have been sat here praising him, going, oh, clever move, Stephen, that's good. But there is nothing more thrilling than a ball finish.
You're exactly right. I mean, Phil Taylor, Eric Bristow, Dennis Priest, they've all gone a big 18, but not the bullet, straight in the bullseye. Of course, you know, the fans want to see that sort of checkout.
140.
Well, Stephen Bunting, if you'd taken his first 2 years in the PDC and you didn't know, we hadn't detailed exactly when he'd had the success he had, and you said, right, at the end of that 2 years, you're going to be in the world's top 16, he'd have gone, yeah, I'll take that. I'm very happy with that. Yes. But it's because that first year was so good. He managed to make the match play in his first year, won one of his very first tournaments, the UK Open qualifiers, that the second year seemed a bit of a letdown, if we're honest.
Well, I think the biggest problem that Stephen did was when he changed his darts. Now, we all understand, he signs with a dart company and, they want to sell a product that looks great, and sometimes it doesn't work for the player. And I don't think it worked for Stephen. But they've worked with him, and now he's got, a set of darts that are smooth.
58.
He went from these very smooth darts to darts that were incredibly grippy, and under pressure you hold on to the dart a little bit too long, and it just stays in your hand too long and you're whipping into the fives.
83.
But he seems to be getting a little bit of form back with the old darts again.
John Michael.
140.
Yeah, he's got the flexible tips. There's John Michael, the points. And Stephen Bunting looks at double 19.
Well, that doesn't help. Just step back, Steve. That's it. Take a big, deep breath. The old blood rushes to the head a bit quick when you bend over like that.
Game show.
There we have it.
Tell you what, that's a cracking dart from Stephen Bunting there.
Do you know, it's right though, Dan. A lot of people will pick that dart up and just throw it straight away. No, you've got to compose yourself. If you ever drop the dart, that's the thing to do, and it's good. 2 good kills from Stephen Bunting.
Well, I'm not sure what else he's going to do. You're 167 on the bull when his opponent's not on a finish. 98 on double 19, having dropped the third dart. What's he going to throw on from one knee in the next leg? And the crowd showing their appreciation for the bullet. Former Lakeside winner and a 2-time world master.
And an all-round nice guy.
60.
Oh, yeah.
He really is. He is a top guy. Got a good manager and all in John Archer. Who really does look after his players. I know other managers do as well, but we're talking about Stephen Bunting, his manager.
43.
Good bunch of lads, all there stable.
Yeah, practice partner of David Pallett. Pallett just edged out by some bloke called Harrington in the previous game as the bullet has to settle for a ton 40. These two haven't met before. in competitive darts action, as everybody has done that you see in action today. They've come through qualifiers to be here. Stephen Bunting raced through his qualifiers, saw off Dennis Smith 6-1 and Sean Griffith 6-2. And looking to fill this up, and does so. There's a maximum.
Yeah, it's a good performance. I know we're only into the latter stage of the third leg, but a good performance from Stephen Bunting.
85. Stephen, you require 64.
Oh, he's taken out the 167 and the 98. This is just par for the course, to be quite honest.
54.
Ooh, well, that's awkward. Losing double five. John Michael needs a big score here, though, just to get down to a decent finish.
Well, we may go 25.
65.
Yep.
Leaves him 167.
Stephen, you require 10.
So, double five.
Yeah, Steve's someone that will go straight for it. He doesn't normally go the two route.
Game show in the third leg. Stephen Bunting, full play.
Races it into a 3-0 lead to Stephen Bunting.
Game on.
And a pretty impressive performance at the moment.
Well, John Michael hesitate to call this a must-win leg, but it certainly makes life
60.
a heck of a lot easier for him if he does get a leg on the board here, rather than going 4-0 down with 2 breaks a throw. Stephen Bunting's averaging 104 and a bit here.
134.
And that will nudge it up a little bit further. Dominant display in the early stages here from the Bullets.
100.
Yeah, 50% on the doubles as well, Dan. That's very impressive. Darts. Just needs to keep it going, though. I think this is where, you know, Stephen, especially last year, not the first year, you know, he's been putting 3 or 4 great legs and then goes off the boil a little bit, and that's where, especially the other top seeds, have been punishing him. He just needs to keep the pressure on.
83.
Yeah, well, sometimes he started games and you know, slowly, and he's given himself too much to do. So even when he does get into that burst of form that we know he's capable of, it's just the game's getting too far away from him. We have seen him on the European Tour produce some great displays and lose. He's lost with 100 average on a number of occasions. His best run on the European Tour was in Berlin year before last, made the semi-finals. Phenomenal tournament. We have 4 world champions in the semi-finals: Taylor, Van Gerwen, Lewis and Bunting. Taylor went on to win that.
92.
Already taken out the 167.
I was going to say that. Do you think he'll go for it if he hits the 2 trebles?
Well, if he's something to take out the 167 when your opponent's not on a finish, and then just lay it up when they're on a finish themselves. It's not going to happen. John Michael looking at 98. Well, if I was John Michael, treble 20, miss the double 19, drop the 3rd dart and then throw it in. That's a proven method. Oh, well, he'll have to go for the treble 18. That's a long way off.
58. Stephen, you require 86.
Well, looking at the treble 18, leaves him double 16. A couple of 18s leaves him the bull. He's already hit it once in the very first leg. Already go for the... Yeah, he's going to go for the double 18. I thought he may. Now the bullseye. Didn't want to get near the treble in case he hit the fly. A sensible thing, you know, it's good
40.
course management, I suppose we could call it.
Well, these are the first darts at double John Michael's had in the match. Down for double 10. It's not in. Not in, John.
That's a walk up.
And neither is that. And Stephen Bunting now
43.
11 or 3. It's the 11 for double 16.
Score. John, you require 10.
Well, a lifeline for John Michael. Can he just seize it? Oh, gonna miss this inside. Just in the 1 now for double 2.
8 score. Stephen,
It's
you
frustrating
require
when you're missing that
32.
many. And to be fair to them, 5s and the 10s have
Game
been on the
shot,
wire.
full flag.
But it's Stephen Bunting, 22 dart leg.
Fifth leg, Stephen the
However,
first.
it doesn't matter how
Game
many
on.
darts it takes, as long as the peg goes on your side.
Yeah, and a breaker throw there. So Stephen Bunting throwing for 5-0 here. We have seen a whitewash today. That was the 6-0 win for Jamie Lewis. It was very impressive earlier on when he beat Andre Velga this afternoon. Averaged 98 in the end.
140.
Stephen Bunting has the chance to do something similar. The winner of this one will face the number 3 seed Peter Wright. That's in the final game of tomorrow's evening session. So it'll be the last spot in the last 16 up for grabs. When whoever wins this one takes on Snakebite. Of course, if John Michael does pull off a phenomenal comeback, it could potentially be 2 guys using those wobbly darts, because Peter Wright,
140.
his set, which he's occasionally used with the wobbly points, are actually inspired by John Michael's. He knocked him up in his shed at home.
45. Stephen, you require
And the length of the points
87.
that Peter Wright had last night, I mean, they were more like javelins. I understand the thinking on it. What it does, it keeps the barrel further away from the board, so there's more room for a dart coming in, and less deflection. But there again, you see some of the deflections that go in the treble. That, you know. However, it's all about what is keen to the eye for you and what gives you the confidence.
Stephen, you require
If
32.
it works for you, then it works. Double 16 for a 5-0 win for Stephen Bunting.
Wrong side of that first dart,
Game
but that's the
shot,
right side of it, and that's 5-0. And
Stephen
John Michael's campaign here at the
Sixth leg,
Dutch Darts
Johnson
Masters
for
may be
first.
coming
Game on.
to a rather swift end, because Stephen Bunting, not playing his very best, but he is playing very, very well.
Well, the first 3 legs, he played brilliant in the first 3 legs, and that gives you the control of the game. And then we talk about whether you're chasing or leading. If you're chasing someone, it's very hard. Leading can be easy at times, especially for the experienced players. I mean, Adrian Lewis is a great one. I mean, when he's in front of you, boy, unless you're going to throw level 12 darters, you're not going to get back at him, especially at the moment. And that's what it's all about, control of the game.
Yeah, well, we will get to see some big names in action this weekend. Obviously, Stephen Bunting's a big name, former world champion, a 2-time world master, but Adrian Lewis is here. Michael Van Gerwen is here. Gary Anderson, Peter Wright, who faces the winner of this. James Wade, who takes on Ryan Harrington. Kim Hybrex, Dave Chisnell. No, Robert Thornton, of course, having withdrawn.
66.
Stephen Bunting. Into the treble again. Just a ton, but John Michael under all sorts of pressure here.
Well, level tons for Bunting. Just a treble with each visit. And the next 2 visits sets him up. Although a maximum here would be very nice.
He'll take the 140.
He certainly would. Sets it up absolutely beautiful.
Well, a ton 40 for John Michael, but it might be the last darts he throws in the Dutch Darts Masters, because Stephen Bunting is going to get a match dart. No, he's going to get 2. Double 8. Ooh. Last one finds it. It's a 6-0 win for Stephen Bunting. A shrug of the shoulders from John Michael. He didn't play well, but even if he had played somewhere near his best, he'd have been given a real game by Stephen Bunting, who has put in a very, very strong display to start the European Tour off. For 2016 for the Bullet, the former world champion is through and will face Peter Wright. What a game that could be tomorrow evening. The final game of the second round. We'll have a few words with the Bullet. And then we've got 4 more matches for you. Dirk van Dijvenbode versus Gerwin Price. That
Ja, dames en heren,
is a
geven nog een applaus
muscly game
vanuit
of
Griekenland,
darts.
John Michael. Well, Stephen, congratulations, of course. A 6-0 victory. I think that went easier than you would have imagined up front.
Definitely, yeah. John's a fantastic player, and Do you know what? I've got great memories of here last year. Last time I was on this stage, I was singing. So, yeah, no, it's nice to be back. Such a wonderful crowd again, and can't wait for tomorrow now.
2015 was maybe not the year you expected it to be, because 2014 was so great. Is it now a case of putting a line under it and starting again?
Of course it is, yeah. Every dart player in this world wants to play to the best. The problem over this side is everyone's as good as each other. I want to win, not just for myself, for my family, for everyone involved in my team, and yeah, hopefully I can put performances in like this. Don't know what the average was, but I know I was pushing probably 80% of my game, so I've been Specsavers, I've got the glasses on, and I'm ready for the next game.
Well, your next game is going to be tomorrow. We're going to see you back tomorrow night. Dames en heren, morgenavond is hij terug. The Bullet, Stephen Bunting.